Last day of the New Zealand Rowing Championships for 2026. Our live coverage brought to you by Milford Invested in You. Our race that is coming up now is the Men's Club Coxless Quadruple Sculls. And this is how it lines up. Aramaho Wanganui will start in lane 1. St George's Composite in lane 2. Canterbury in lane 3. The Mitre Clifton in 4. Dunstan in 5. Wildale in lane 6. Sacred Heart in lane 7. Waikato number 1 crew in lane 8. And Cambridge number 2 crew in lane 9.
And I am looking forward to this race. There's 9 crews lining up, and there's 9 crews that have a real shot at winning it. The 2 semis, one particular semi was incredibly close. There wasn't anything in it between 5 crews. The other semi a little bit spread out, however, they were a bit faster in the heat. So really, honestly, anyone could win this.
Okay, so settle back. That is Meg Glenn bringing you all of that expert coverage. And boy, I tell you what, I love the passion, don't you? As we do have a look at the Clifton crew, the famous colours there. And that is Hamish Perry, Brodie Lester, Noah Prendergast, Jack Hurley. Their coaches are Jason Williams and Greg Cox.
Yeah, and what we saw from them, particularly in the semi, was that they had a very strong middle K. And they are also the North Island winners.
Too far away from the start, so settle back. This could be one of the great races, folks. We've already had one race decided by, I think, 3 100ths of a second, 6 100ths of a second. This could be an absolute beauty. We are set to go. They are just a group of springs that are just looking to, coiled springs just looking to pop.
George's, Sacred Heart,
there in lane 4.
Canterbury, Clifton, Dunstan,
starting to get this set to go, about to pull the trigger on this race.
Sacred Heart, Waikato, Cambridge, attention.
And they're away. So a very fast start here in the 8th final. The Men's Club Coxless Quadruple Sculls has been brought to you by Lewis Lawyers. Dunstan getting a fast start there. They're defending the title. But it would be the crew out there on the outside, Cambridge 21, that are really getting up there, as well as the St George's Sacred Heart Composite. Some of these crews that sort of progressed through, they were in that semi, though, that was very, very tight, and there was nothing in it. There was 3 boats across the line together. So you want to see, like we've seen earlier today, if you're, in contention, you want to get out fast.
Yeah, Canterbury crew there in lane 3, just going a little bit off course, almost just coming across the buoy line all the way down there, making a little bit of a correction now, just starting to move up into that early lead. And of course down here, in fact, across the far side it is lane 3, but it is this crew closest to us at the moment in lane 9, the Cambridge crew of Matthias Everett, Jack Kelsonet, Angus Denise and Jakob Kampenholt, who are, well, maybe half a boat length lead at the moment, so good performance from the locals. They will be very familiar with Lake Karapeta. They'll know every little inch of this lake.
Yeah, Canterbury travelling very well. You just see the bowman there, just look across. That's Noah Visser. Just give it a little call to his crew. He wants to go with this Cambridge crew, and coming with that Canterbury crew are Clifton and Dunstan Arm.
Yeah, still hanging tough across the far side. Aramaho Wanganui, Xavier Warren, Achilles Paikea, Bryn Morgan and James Tiglau. So this will be very strategic at the moment. Really easy still for these crews to get a little bit ambitious early. I'll say it, and I say it with the greatest respect. You do not want to confuse ability with ambition in a sport like this. Now we're just starting to see across there in lane 3, Canterbury just start to pick it up. Now the big move coming from Clifton, and we know, Meg, they are a fast finishing club. They do a lot of their coaching based around that last 500 metres.
Yeah, they do have fast finishes, but this crew in particular had a very strong middle K, and that's what we've just stepped into. So that's why we're seeing them move, and Wido is very much coming with them, who were first at South Islands in this event. So we're starting to see the North and South Island winners just start to pull through the field.
Okay, really good race at the moment. So it's Canterbury by about a bow ball over Clifton, and then down here in lane 6, Whiteout. We don't see a lot of them, the famous green and white. That Whiteout crew of Hunter Marfell, Logan Flight, Zachary Jenkins, Aidan Bennett. Their coaches are Clayton Lindstrom and Mark James, so incredibly well coached, but it is still now Clifton. So we do have a lead change, still hanging very, very tough down here in Cambridge. Easy to look beyond Cambridge in lane 9, but they are still in the street fight, folks.
Yeah, it's looking like a little battle between the 2 crews in blue, Clifton and Cambridge, but Wido is really coming through now. Wido, who had a very, very fast finish in the semis and the heats, they're not going to leave it that late this time. They're going to try get up early.
I like Wairau. They look to me like they've just kept a little bit more of their powder dry. They look like they haven't burnt quite as many matches. There just appears to be a little bit of a fluidity from them, not quite fighting their machine perhaps as much as Clifton, but we are starting to get at that business end. So we're through the 1,000-metre mark. We're now starting to get to that threshold where, it's about mental fortitude. It's about being able to maintain your concentration under extreme mental and physical duress.
Yeah, and Wairau is really pushing into the lead there. They hit that 1,000-metre marker first, Clifton in second, but keep an eye on Aramaho Wanganui out there in one. They're certainly moving. They're pushing up. They had a great match off with that St. George's crew, but you can't find them at the moment. Aramaho Wanganui really, really pushing through here.
Interesting too, you look at the body types of Aramaho Wanganui, they look a lot younger. They look actually a little bit smaller. That might be because they're further away from the camera here, but that then just shows the ability of good technique, doesn't it? It's about making sure you've got everything together. It's not always about size, it's about technique, it's about that cohesion. Great performance across there from Aramaho Wanganui, really, really good. Now look at this starting to develop. This is simply remarkable, and we've still got 500 metres of this race remaining.
Yeah, it is. Wairau with the lead. A nice clear half a boat length now, so they're really just stretching out. But this third 500 is certainly going Aramaho Wanganui's way as they just pull up next to Clifton. Clifton, though, they're responding well.
Now, I've got to say, Cambridge, well, maybe that early pace is just starting to take toll on them. They've just started to drop back on the inside there of Wairau. The Dunstan Arms crew still hanging. We haven't really talked about them, have we? And sometimes when you don't talk about a crew, it's because they've actually still got something left. Now we get to that threshold. I often say 2,000 metres, 1,500 metres of hope, 500 metres of truth. We're at that threshold now. Now we start to find out. We start to find out who's done that base work, who's got that endurance work, who believes the most. It is still the Wairau crew, but the team that still impresses me, they look comfortable out there across that far side, is Aramaho Wanganui. Can they get up onto the bow ball here of Clifton? Will we see the fast finishing Clifton? How much do Clifton have left? We know how good their teams are over that last 250.
Yeah, and so Clifton will just be getting ready. But certainly Aramaho Wanganui have plenty of sprints from their crews. But it really is Wairau who, once they got up to speed, have just stretched away and they're now out to almost a length, but they're still touching distance as we see Waikato start to pull up now. So Waikato is really pulling up as we move through the 250-metre marker. It would be Wairau in first, Clifton second, but third, it's Aramaho Wanganui, Canterbury, and... No, sorry, Dunstan and Waikato, three crews.
Dunstan have just hung there all day, haven't they? They really just haven't been, we haven't really talked about them, and now they're starting to make their move, moving up now into third place. Dunstan, here come the Waikato crew back again, and now Clifton with their fast finish. So Clifton will really begin to increase their rating. Can they run down this very good, classy outfit from Wairau? Wairau starting to respond.
Wairau, they're really doing well to hold on to it. Clifton in second, but Waikato and Dunstan are moving. Aramaho Wanganui did so well, but it's Waikato and Dunstan for bronze on the line. It's going to be gold for Wairau. Well done. Silver, it's going to go Clifton, and I'm going to call it bronze Waikato. What a race. What a sprint from the crew in lane 8 there. You've always got to keep an eye on lane 8 and 9, I tell you.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, I'm going to wait for the photo finish for third place.
Yeah,
I'm going to wait for the photo finish on that one. That's a beauty for the bronze medal. And look, I tell you what, a lot of these crews just want to get themselves on the podium. Bronze will be gold for some of them. The crews like Wairau, who came in as favourites, they lived up to the billing. I just really like the look of Wairau through that first 5,000 metres. They just looked like they had soft hands. They just looked like they were just a little bit more relaxed from the crew from Clifton, and they did come through in the finish. So we will confirm that result for you shortly. But folks, don't go away. Coming up very shortly at 11:30, we have the Women's Club at Single Sculls.
And I'm really looking forward to that race because it's going to be the first showdown of Ayla Klein and Isla Westlake going head to head.
And what makes those two athletes so